Legislative Assembly and my dear citizens of Sikkim. I bring warmest Basantari to greetings to the Honorable Speaker, Sir, Deputy Speaker, Madam, Honorable members of the Sikkim State Assembly, the people of Sikkim and the officials of the government of Sikkim. This is the most Saudaryamay and Madhuramay season in the 6 major seasons of our beautiful Himalayan state Sikkim. It is with a profound sense of responsibility and unwavering commitment that I present the 7th consecutive annual budget of our government since we took over the governance of Sikkim in 2019. This fiscal year 2025-2026 has 3 historic significances for the people of Sikkim. Firstly, this year we attend the 50th year of our statehood and smoothly enter into the golden jubilee period in the annals of political history of Sikkim and post-independent India. Secondly, in this historic fiscal year, we endeavor to enter into a zero poverty and 100% literacy regime in Sikkim, thereby signaling the beginning of a new development era in the history of Sikkim. And finally, this year, we fondly remember the long period of governance under various kingships and the invaluable contribution made by the countless Sikkimese ancestors, including former governors, chief ministers, MLAs, officials, and individuals in shaping the future of modern-day Sikkim. We also wholeheartedly celebrate the piloting in of multi-party democracy in our statehood within the constitutional framework and government system of India. We pay our homage and tribute to all who build the Sikkim, state of Sikkim and India brick by brick, thereby taking it to the height it has attained today. We pray and pay our highest respect and gratitude to all our mountain deities for showering on us the blessing that have been beset with peace, tranquility, harmony, prosperity, and stability. We carry within us the immense sense of achievement and highest degree of satisfaction and happiness. Let us recall that since 16 May 1975, Sikkim embarked on an inspiring journey, progressing remarkably, embracing democracy and development well, steadfastly preserving our rich and diverse cultural heritage and environmental and natural endowments. Over these transformative 5 decades, Sikkim has evolved from a small Himalayan kingdom into a modern state recognized nationally and globally for its exemplary strides in peace and tranquility, sustainable development, robust economic growth, and comprehensive social welfare initiatives. The 16th of May 1975 was a turning point of Sikkim's history, significant from 5 crucial perspectives. Number 1, integration with India. Number 2, realizations and fulfillment of democratic aspirations. Number 3, remarkable developmental transformation. Number 4, strategic and national security contribution. And number 5, global recognition for its unique mountain identity conserved through peace, tranquility, and traditional approaches. To commemorate this milestone, our government has planned a year-long celebration, and we are honored to announce that the Honorable Prime Minister of our country, Shri Narendra Modi ji, has accepted our invitation to be the chief guest at the main event. I personally made the Honorable Prime Minister to extend this invitation, and he has kindly consented to grace the occasion with his presence. During this historic event, the Honorable Prime Minister shall inaugurate several key projects, including the 500-bedded Namche District Hospital, a state-of-the-art healthcare facility aimed at providing world-class medical services. Swarna Jayanti Matriya Manjari, a landmark tribute to Sikkim's 50 golden years of statehood, embodying the philosophy of Mitralap. Atal Bihari Vajpayee statue, a tribute to the visionary leader who played a crucial role in India's development. Passenger ropeway at Sangacholing, which will connect Peiling to Sangacholing Monastery, boosting tourism and economic activities in the area. Additionally, our government has also requested the Honorable Prime Minister to lay the foundation stone for several transformative projects such as the Golden Jubilee Convention Center at Namli, a world-class infrastructure project designed to host national and international events. Number 2, Bale Dungai Sai Walk, a pioneering tourism initiative to boost ecotourism and adventure tourism in Sikkim, a first of its kind in India. Nathula Border Tourism Development Project, an ambitious project to transform Nathula into a world-class global tourist destination. Singshore Bridge, a vital project to boost tourism and economic activity in the region. Golden Jubilee Integrated Cultural and Sports Village, a complex that shall provide state-of-the-art facilities to our inspiring sportspersons and athletes. Working Women's Hostel at Tadung, which will provide working women a dignified place and further empower them. Honorable Speaker, sir, Sikkim today is the most integrated state of India. It is more so given our political history and merger with the Republic of India. Our diverse and deepening integration is highlighted by the highest per capita income in the country, relatively much higher growth rate, national security and national interest protection and promotion by the state, most peaceful state in the country, proven custodian of natural resources, biodiversity and cultural ecology, the core center of dealing with climate change impact, adaptation and mitigation in the entire Eastern Himalaya region. Almost all the evaluation reports produced by the Government of India and other agencies put Sikkim as one of the most progressive and variedly performing state in India. Our state leads in many development indicators and are being widely debated open in both national and global forum. Honorable Speaker, sir, our budget for the fiscal year 2025-26 embodies our steadfast commitment to accelerating the growth trajectory through strategic investment in critical sectors such as infrastructure, education, healthcare, connectivity, environmental sustainability, tourism and social welfare. We aim to build on our successes and diligently address the challenges ahead. Despite constraints posed by our unique geography, vulnerabilities to climate change and uncertainties in the global economic landscape, our resolve to achieve inclusive, equitable and sustainable development remains unwavering. Honorable Speaker, sir, education remains a top priority for our government. With a steadfast commitment to providing quality education, we have been making consistent strides to ensure every child in Sikkim has access to the best learning opportunities. We are focused on implementing the National Education Policy 2020 in its true spirit, in ensuring that Sikkim remains at the forefront of educational transformation. We recognize the importance of early childhood care and education in shaping a child's future. Sikkim is the first state to introduce the kindergarten system in all government schools, aligning with the NEP 2020. Wherever possible, Anganwadi centers have been co-located in government primary schools to provide seamless early education. This year, we will ensure that all primary teachers undergo ECCE training to enhance their capacity in nurturing young mind. Our effort in foundational literacy and numeracy have positioned Sikkim at the top of FLN index among northeastern states. To strengthen this further, we are implementing the Nipun initiative across all schools, ensuring comprehensive teachers training. Additionally, this year, all primary teachers will undergo a special numeracy program training, equipping them with innovative pedagogical tools to enhance numeracy skills. Since 2023, we have introduced the Vidya Pravesh model, a 3-month play-based school readiness program to help young learners transition smoothly into the school system. Innovative pedagogies such as Jologyan for fundamental mathematics and Jolly Phonics for phonetics training is being used to make learning engaging and effective. To enrich primary education, we have introduced new textbooks for classes 1 to 5 in English, EVS and mathematics, incorporating sustainable development, local context and child-friendly elements. These textbooks have received commendations from the Ministry of Education, Government of India, and have been recommended as model textbook for other states. At the secondary and senior secondary level, our government is working towards achieving saturation in vocational education, ensuring that every school is equipped with skill-based learning. Going forward, we will diversify our vocational subject to provide students with a broader range of career opportunities. We are also committed to fostering a scientific temperament among students, for which separate STEAM laboratories will be set up in schools, allowing students to gain hands-on experience in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Additionally, 4,410 tablets have been distributed across 147 schools to support digital learning. In this financial year, we will expand this initiative, ensuring that more students benefit from digital education. Our government is committed to inclusive education, ensuring that our Divyang students receive the necessary support and facilities. More rural schools will also be given the opportunity to participate in state-level programs, ensuring equitable access to education. Under the Bahini scheme, more than 20,000 girls from class 8 to graduation level receive free sanitary napkins in government-run schools and colleges. This initiative has significantly improved attendance, retention rates, and transactions rate of girls students, and we will continue this year as well. Additionally, the student exposure trip initiative has been instrumental in broadening perspectives and enhancing the outlook of our students. Every year, 302 school students are sent for an exposure tour. Among them, 91 top performing class 11 students are taken outside the state, while 211 top performing class 9 students participate in an exposure tour within the state. Meanwhile, 120 college students are sent for exposure tours outside the state. Our government also organizes educational exposure tours for award-winning teachers both within India and abroad. State and commendation awardee teachers visit various states across the country, while national awardee teachers receive international exposure. Since the scheme was launched in 2022, around 35 teachers along with their spouses have participated in these tours annually. Improving school infrastructure remains a key priority. This year, 105 school buildings will be developed. Selected schools will be transformed into green schools, incorporating rainwater harvesting, solar panels, biodegradable tablets, and water purifier, making them environmentally sustainable learning spaces. Our IT infrastructure has also been strengthened within the Vidya Samiksha Kendra, a data-driven system established in Gangtok in 2022. This initiative leverages big data, AI, and machine learning to track key education metrics such as student enrollment, learning progress, attendance, and school support needs. This year, we will enhance the Vidya Samiksha Kendra by integrating advanced education technology for real-time monitoring and decision-making. Honorable Speaker, Sir, Sikkim is to become a preferred destination for higher education. In the past 6 years, we have established 8 new universities. Additionally, the establishment of 5 more universities is in progress. To uphold global education standard, we are in the process of establishing of the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose University of Excellence at Chakong Soring District. The Kanchenjunga State University at Timitarku is at an advanced stage stage of completion. Since 2022, our government has secured 80 MBBS quota seat annually at Sikkim Manipal Institute of Medical Sciences. Out of these 50 seats are fully funded by our government and the remaining 30 are reserved paid seats. All 80 seats are exclusively for Sikkimese students. So far, 150 students have benefited from the free MBBS program and 90 students have availed the reserved paid seats. Our government continues to provide an annual grant of rupees 4.5 crores to Sikkim Manipal University, and this initiative will continue this year and beyond. The Chief Minister Model School at Assam Lingche has begun student enrollment through an open competitive examination under the Chief Minister Merit Scholarship Scheme from 2025. We have granted sufficient autonomy and a separate director has been appointed to ensure its smooth functioning. In addition to this, our government has several initiatives to enhance education in Sikkim. The PM Series scheme is being implemented in 43 schools in 2 phases, transforming them into explanatory institutions showcasing NEP interventions. School rationalization has merged 52 primary schools with low enrollment, ensuring better resource management and enhanced learning experiences. The Chief Minister Mentorship Program under the Learning Enhancement Program has benefited 5,850 students, providing free coaching and standardized assessment to enhance Class 10 performance in CBSE exam. The Chief Minister Education Assistance Scheme launched in 2024-25 provides financial support to students from low-income families for higher and technical education within India and abroad. A total of 638 students have benefited under this in the last year alone. Our government has launched the Apatan Fellowship Scheme to provide financial assistance to exceptional local scholars with a strong academic record, enabling them to pursue PhD courses in Nepali, Bhutia, Lepcha, Limbu and Hindi languages and literature. The scheme offers financial assistance of rupees 1 lakh for scholars pursuing PhD courses in any central state university within Sikkim, rupees 2 lakh for those studying in any central state university outside Sikkim but within India, and rupees 3 lakh for those pursuing PhD courses abroad in reputed universities. Similarly, Narvadur Bhandari Fellowship Program has been launched which assists eligible students for pursuing higher education in the top designated universities abroad. Professional teacher regularization is ongoing with 947 teachers already regularized among other achievements. Honorable Speaker, sir, our key indicators show remarkable progress. Sikkim's literacy rate is still at 90.8% with male literacy at 93% and female literacy at 88%. Under the New India Literacy Program, we aim to achieve full literacy by 2027, covering foundational literacy, numeracy, digital and financial literacy and continuing education. More girls than boys are enrolled in schools and the teacher-student ratio stands at an impressive 1:9. This is a testament to the success of the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao initiative, and we will continue our commitment to educational excellence in the coming years. With these initiatives, Sikkim is poised to become a model state for education in India. Together, we will continue to transform the education sector, ensuring a brighter future for our children and our state. Honorable Speaker, sir, our government has always prioritized the health and well-being of the people of Sikkim, ensuring that every citizen has access to quality healthcare services. Through our proactive policies, we have set new benchmark in delivering comprehensive and inclusive healthcare services. The STNM hospital has witnessed remarkable advancement, including the initiations of the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission with the implementation of the CDAC Hospital Management Information System, featuring scan and skip the queue functionally for efficient patient flow management. We have re-implemented structured visiting hours for better patient family coordinations and initiated the Jan Aushadhi initiative, ensuring affordable medicines. Further, admission and discharge processes have been streamlined and a centralized OPD registry system has been established to significantly reduce waiting times. Super specialty OPDs have also been recognized alongside other departments, facilitating better patient care access and interdepartmental collaborations. Infrastructure and facility enhancement at STNM Hospital have included the expansion of gynecology wards, significantly increasing bed capacity to accommodate more patients. Importantly, STNM Hospital was incorporated into the consortium of the National Viral Genomic Testing Facility in May 2023, enhancing our diagnostic capabilities. Key medical milestones include the hospital's first ever gynecologic oncology procedure conducted in the state owing to the effort of our government. The Department of Cardiothoracic and Vascular Surgery has successfully performed complex procedures and has completed 100 laser surgeries for varicose vein as of March 2024. Our neurosurgery department has also achieved significant progress by performing advanced dural arteriovenous fistula treatment using endovascular embolizations. Additionally, our collaboration effort between the Department of Urology and Cardiology resulted in successful angioembolization procedure. The Department of Orthopedic has achieved milestones including semi-hip replacement and the state first total knee replacement surgery at our own hospital STNM. Our Obstetrics and Gynecology Department has further enhanced reproductive health services by introducing hysteroscopy for infertility treatment. Honorable Speaker, sir, our government also established new super specialty department including neurosurgery, nephrology and cardiothoracic surgery alongside existing departments such as cardiology and gastroenterology, urology, pediatric surgery and plastic surgery. These services have been extended to district hospital through regular monthly visit by super specialists. A major milestone was the establishment of the Viral Research and Diagnosis Laboratory at STNM Hospital, inaugurated on 21st May 2020. The laboratory aggregated by ICMR performed vital diagnosis for COVID-19 and influenza viruses free of charge. The STNM Hospital was also included as a new INSA-CoG genome sequencing laboratory on 24th May 2023, significantly boosting our capacity to identify SARS-CoV-2 by variant. Another landmark achievement is the establishment of the first tertiary cancer care center under the Department of Radiation Oncology, providing essential cancer treatment locally and reducing the necessary for travel outside the state. Honorable Speaker, sir, we have also set up a paramedical training center at Kyongsa Gazing for multi-purpose health worker, aiming to improve public health services to skilled personnel. Honorable Speaker, such dialysis centers were established at District Hospital Namchi in October 2019 and at District Hospital Gazing in August 2020. A new dialysis center with 5 dialysis machines has been completed and is now functional at District Hospital Mangan. Additionally, peritoneal dialysis services were initiated at STNM Hospital in September 2021 as a pilot project during the COVID-19 pandemic. The number of patients currently undergo dialysis is 244 at STNM Hospital, 53 at Namchi Hospital, 35 at Gazing Hospital, and 20 at Mangan Hospital, bringing the total to 352, a total of 24,988 sessions were conducted during the last year. Advanced cardiac care has been significantly boosted with the installation of electrophysiology study and radio frequency ablation and intravascular ultrasound system in May 2022.